Welcome to World of Fire. The flame has always been more than light, more than heat. It is creation and destruction. It is memory and discovery. From ancient myths to modern science, from the fires that shaped history to the sparks that shape tomorrow. This is the story of fire, and I will be your guide. You think a fire is just flames, something bright, something burning, something you can see and put out. But there's a moment when fire becomes something else. It stops moving and starts taking over. Not one object, but everything, all at once. This isn't a flash, and it's not an explosion. This is flashover. At that point, smoke isn't just smoke. It's thick, filled with particles and flammable gases. The smoke itself becomes fuel. And when heat gathers enough strength, it doesn't wait. It breaks through and takes everything. Flashover doesn't look like a normal fire. There's no clear starting point. No, here's where it began. Because the whole space ignites, simultaneously. It can happen in a room, inside a car, in a tunnel, in a forest where resin boils in the heat and flames climb into the tree canopy. It's not just a fire anymore, it's the environment itself, deciding not to hold back. Flashover begins long before the flames appear. It brews, in the heat, in the smoke, in a process called pyrolysis. That's when materials aren't burning yet, but are already breaking down from heat. They release gases, invisible, flammable. These gases build up, filling the space, until everything in it is ready to ignite at once. It's not an explosion, it's a breaking point. The space can no longer hold the heat, and everything that can burn does, instantly. But flashover doesn't just happen, it gives signs. And if you know them, you have a chance. Fire always warns you, and here's how. The temperature near the ceiling rises fast, reaching 600 degrees Celsius, or more. That's not just heat, that's a warning line. Smoke gets darker, hotter, thicker, heavy with pyrolysis gases, and it sinks. The flames begin to move, stretching upward, responding to the environment. Under the ceiling, waves of fire. Walls and ceilings start to radiate heat, as if the fire is already living inside them. And if you enter at that moment, you may not make it out. Flashover isn't a mistake, it's a result of conditions. And when those conditions reach their edge, the environment becomes fire. Sometimes, everything feels calm. Too calm. You're standing at the door. There's no flame, no sound, but smoke pushes out. Thick, slow, like it's struggling to leave. And then, it pulls back, as if the room wants to breathe in. You don't know what's inside, but it's hot. The smoke is dense, heavy with gases. The fire didn't go out. It's still there. It's not waiting for you, it's waiting for air. And when it gets it, it doesn't light up. It explodes. This is Backdraft. A phenomenon born in sealed spaces, where flames hide, but the heat doesn't leave. The gases stay, the temperature holds, and the oxygen, almost gone. The fire doesn't leave, it just pauses and waits for one thing, a breath. Open the door, and the fire breathes in, and in that moment, it explodes. It's not an accident, it's not a trick, it's a matter of conditions. Backdraft isn't about flames, it's about hunger, a hunger for oxygen. It can wait beneath the stairs, inside a shipping container, a storage room, a bedroom. No movement, no light, no warning, until someone lets the air in. but Backdraft doesn't strike without signs. If you know where to look, you'll see them. This is how fire speaks. The smoke breathes. It flows out, then pulls back in, like something inside can't decide. The windows are black, coated with soot. You look, but all you see is ash. Sometimes the glass trembles, as if the air inside wants to escape, but can't. Everything goes still, but not silent. The fire whispers. It never shouts. Backdraft isn't a mistake. It doesn't punish. It simply does what it's meant to do. And it doesn't always wait for a door to open. Sometimes, fire finds a way. Through glass, through cracks, through chance. It doesn't ask. It takes the moment and turns it into fire. But sometimes, it appears in the very place you were sure it wouldn't. You've moved away from the source. Behind you, flame, smoke, heat. Ahead, a hallway. Empty, still. It feels like you've left the danger behind, but the danger is already here. There's no fire, but everything is ready for it to appear. The air is filled with gases. They're not burning, but they hold everything a flame needs. They're not waiting because they want to. They're waiting because the space is ready, and if a spark appears, this air will ignite, immediately, without warning, without a chance to know where it started. This is fire gas ignition. Not an explosion, but not a normal flame either. Fire doesn't grow, it just appears, in response to a chance. And that chance might be nothing more than one step, one touch, one wire. It's not random. It's a buildup. Smoke, accumulating. Gases, saturating. Oxygen, remaining. One ignition. And the entire volume becomes flame. Sometimes, it's a soft burst, a flash fire. Sometimes, a violent surge, a smoke explosion. Different names, same nature. Fire, outside the flame. You've seen how fire changes, how it matures, how it hides, how it waits, and how it takes in an instant. It can build. It can destroy. It has shaped the world, and still does. In the next episode, I'll show you what fire has become, for people, for the world we live in.